Morning, family. This is Ricky, and welcome to Hope for Today. Let's just go right to our passage this morning. It comes from 2 Samuel chapter 11, kind of walking through the life of David and kind of holding on to some lessons that we can apply to our daily life. David, for years now, has been fighting battles to establish the territory of Israel. And in chapter 11, he kind of gets away from that rhythm, and it ends up being ruin for his life. Let's see what we can learn from it. The Bible says, chapter 11, verse 1, in the spring of the year, the time when kings go out to battle, David sent Joab and his servants with him and all Israel, and they ravaged the Ammonites and besieged Rabbah, but David remained at Jerusalem. And we'll stop right there. I just want you to see what's going to be the most tumultuous moment of King David's life, that he remained at Jerusalem. Chapter 11 says it was the time when kings go out to battle. And what the writer is saying here is that David should have been on the battlefield, but ended up opting for a minefield. He should have been on the battlefield, but opted for a minefield. The author here is trying to say that he should have been with people doing the Lord's work, but he remained at Jerusalem and got into the devil's work. Who am I talking to today? The principle is this: left to yourself, you will destroy yourself. And I say these things all the time, and I don't think we could say it enough. Friend, Christian maturity cannot happen in isolation. It can only happen in insulation, when you surround yourself with godly people who have godly goals. This is going to introduce this moment of sin and shame. We're going to talk about it all this week, about what happened in David's life as a result of him, instead of opting for the battlefield, settled for this minefield of isolation, and it led him to destruction in his life. And the whole reminder for us is that you can do a lot of things alone. Christianity is not one of them. That being alone is great for intimacy with Jesus. It is fairly destructive for nearly everything else. Now look at this episode. Y'all know what's going to happen next, right? He going to see Bathsheba next door on the roof, like up in the bathtub, aptly named Bathsheba. Splish splash, he was taking a bath all up on a Saturday night, and it starts this tumultuous downturn of sin in his life. And I just think about that same moment when he's looking at this girl taking a bath on the roof. What would have happened if he would have had godly men around him? Godly men who could have said, bruh, your wife gonna kill you. Let's get out of here. You see, when I'm alone, I'm more prone to consider unhealthy options that are easier to ignore when I'm in community. And that's the power of you doing life with people. That's the power of you being in a small group. That's the power of you having a Bible study with other believers alongside you. Because when you're alone, it's just easier to do stuff that makes no sense than it is when you are with people. And this is what David teaches us in this passage. Are you alone right now? Are you navigating life in isolation? God told me to tell you, navigate life in insulation with people around you so you can thrive. That's hope for today. I'll see you next time.